Hi, welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel, and today I am going to continue my exploration of the Cairn Warden's Guide, Second Edition. In this video, I will be filling out the information from the forest map that we created last session. So as you can see, I've got my forest seeds here. This is the information that we generated in the first forest video. And then the forest map, this is the process that I followed using drop tables to create kind of the scaffolding of the map and the trails of the forest. And then we're going to go through and we're going to fill in each of these 12 locations and also the 3 different trails. So yeah, let's hop right in. I think the first thing I need to do is go to the forest tables, which are going to be down here. And I'm going to create a little list for each of my locations so I can see what they are. So this is a shelter. In fact, let me pull this up over here. I can hide some layers on my original so I can see. 2 is a monster. 3 is a monster. 4 is a hazard. 5 is a monster. 6 is a shelter. 7 is a ruin. 8 is a ruin. 9 is a hazard. 10 is a hazard. 11 is a ruin. And 12 is a ruin. Okay. So I think the way I'm going to do this is we're going to start by just rolling on the tables here. So we'll start with monsters. And we'll go through each monster item and just put in what the values are that we rolled. So monsters, for the first one, we got 15 and 2. For the second one, we get 3 and 8. A third monster, at 11 and 17. And those are all of our monsters. And we'll come back and fill those in. I'm relatively certain there's only 2 rolls for each of these, so I think we can just roll them and then look them up. So we're going to go do new shelters now. 8 and 11. So it's not going to matter too much if we do them in order or do them in groupings or whatever. We can just roll and then do the looking up. And I do like to do this when I'm generating is just, you know, I also forgot to put my group here on group them. Thank you. 17.3. I like to do this when I'm generating stuff is just kind of do a lot of my math, do a lot of my dice rolling up front, and then come in and clean up and select the items from the tables afterwards. So it gives me a little more time to focus on the one thing and not be distracted by the desire to roll more dice. I already have my dice all rolled. They came pre-rolled. 20 and 2. 16 and 19. And 6 and 10. All right. Yeah. Okay, so we got our dice here. We're rolled up. Let's do our shelter here. So 8 and 11 is a hollow tree with 11 is, so occupied by army deserters. I like that. That's pretty cool. Our monster 15-2 is a skeleton that is burying. I mean, it's burying its own coffin. It's interesting. Monster 3-8, we get a blood elk guarding. Blood elk guarding. I don't know what a blood elk is, but it sounds terrifying. Let's go take a look at hazards here. Hazard 9-1, poisonous plants with a pet basilisk. That's interesting. I think the idea actually for me, I'm going to put as it's written here, but I think what I would do is the poisonous plants are food for the basilisk. And so the basilisk is just here eating its normal meal, but the plants are also poisonous if the party interacts with them. I think that's interesting. And then we get monsters, 11, 17. So we get a Naga. Scouting. That's pretty good. And 6 for shelter is a hidden village. Well, I like that it's a hidden village in here. Oh, wait a minute. How did I get 613? I don't know what I'm doing. 17. Pale Folk Stable. Pale Folk Stable. I don't know what that means. Oh, my keyboard did the thing. Gave me a bunch of boops. 3. Built in defiance of customs. Okay. I guess. That seems like a hard one to interpret. I will have to think on that. An exposed workshop. Featuring a bound by an unbreakable curse. Bound by an my god, can you not? Breakable curse. I think I can just close my dice app now and probably my map as well. That'll save us some memory. This ruin is a rusted market with a forest spirit ready to die. Ooh, it's done. I'm done. It's petrified. I guess, yeah, it needs to die to be reborn, right? That's its goal, I think. Rebirth, but it is bound in stasis. That's pretty cool. It's ready to die, but it can't. Like that. All right, and then we got a couple of hazards down here. Hazard 6-3 is a giant spider nest with animated armor. That's pretty cool. Spider nest, animated armor. Yeah, I could imagine like the armor of one of its victims, like the spider's victims, right, is still kind of hanging in the webs, and maybe is like haunted and is kind of jerking around. Like, pretty cool. And then our other hazard here is unstable ground, featuring a spell gone wrong. Interesting. We get 2 more ruins here. So 16. Oh, another rusted market. And this one with visions of the past. Now, I wonder if this would maybe work better if this was like the sunken gazebo with realistic toy soldiers, but even that seems kind of weird. Maybe there's just 2 rusted markets out here. That's probably okay. In fact, even if, especially if they're like extensions of each other, right? If they're the same kind of place shattered by some event or something, or remnants of a rusted market, which I can even imagine the exposed workshop, the rusted market, all kind of being part of the same abandoned, a place overgrown, reclaimed by the forest. You can really see that happening. And then decomposed canoes, which I love because that actually puts us right at the edge of the lake, right? There's a lake where this forest kind of butts up against. I really like that. So decomposed canoes with fresh corpses. Oh, I kind of love that. Like the corpses in the canoes are fresher than the canoes are. Interesting. Pretty weird. All right, cool. So that is our setup for that. And then real quick, we're just going to generate our paths. So these are our points of interest. And then down here, go trails. And trail 1, 2. So trail 1 is 16 and 8. And trail 2 is 11 and 13. And trail 3 is 15 and 14. And then let's just look at what these are. So 16 and 8 is spore saturated with the marker of fox prints. This trail is 11 King's March and marker of peripheral images. Interesting. And then Pilgrim's Footpath, I guess is one word. And 14 is Rabbit Droppings. Okay. So I guess the idea here would be, let's see, which one? The shelter here is the hollow tree. So there's army guys that have abandoned that. I think this one then will be our red one. Yeah. So I would just make this red text. I would make this one green text. And I would make this one yellow text. And that's how we would distinguish between those different trails. And of course, we'd want to go in and fill these out with more information. Another thing that I noticed while doing this process with this book, it's the second time I've done this, is there isn't really any discussion of treasure within the context of forests and like this section here. I think it's one of those things that like, yeah, it is often left on the table by GMs and not really thought through. And I think Cairn also doesn't really care very much about treasure as kind of a design fundamental. It's not trying to make you go get gold. So yeah, just a kind of nuance of the style, but still very, very fun process, very cool outputs. You're going to have to do some work here to kind of figure out how these work. And I think that's, by design, you really do want to have that. And this might be a cool opportunity to take some of your other dungeon building and world building tools, your other random tables, and do some more rolling, do some more exploring, do some more justification of why these things are the way that they are. I really like the idea that the Naga scouts are maybe related to the decomposed canoes. Like they came on them across the river. So yeah, you can just kind of see how some of these things could be connected. You could really kind of tie them together and create an interesting story that you can explore with your players via the place. If you like these videos, I hope you will hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of them, you should subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified when new videos come out, you can hit the bell icon. Of course, you can get early access to my videos and access to all of my daily content by signing up on Patreon at patreon.com/watcherdm, or you can support us by going and picking up any of our games, adventure modules, and other stuff out there on HIO, DriveThruRPG, watcherdm.com, or over at Composed Dream Games, where our physical books are sold. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you in the next one.